Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Yeah, Solana is getting closer and closer here towards the target area of the wave 3. Yeah, we saw quite a strong sell-off candle today. It should not have been a surprise, as the target here for the wave 3 is, in my opinion, around the area between $6.40 and $7.10. Yeah, I think this is as accurate as you can do it in the current market environment. I don't know if there was a more fundamental reason for this sell-off candle here today. I mean, it was bought up pretty quickly, but it hasn't moved up strong enough to indicate here that a more substantial low is in place. I mean, I would hope it for Solana that at some point it will recover significantly again, but I would not see any, or I would not be able to, how do you say, I wouldn't be able to take a more bullish stance here until we really break above the $15 level. And that is quite a bit of a move up, yeah, from where we currently are at just below $10. This would be a 55% move to the upside, yeah, and break it. Then we can say that, okay, this last wave to the downside here is at least invalidated, you know, because we're moving above this wave too high. So at the moment, my view is that we are in a third wave down of a larger fifth wave, which obviously still needs that fourth wave to be done and the eventual fifth wave. Now we're getting lower and lower. Yes, we've seen a little bit of a counter reaction. I guess there were some people who bought it up. Now, I don't know if that, again, if there was a more fundamental reason for the sell-off candle, but all it's doing at the moment is following the technical analysis also from earlier today. Now, I know that Alameda Research still hold quite a bit of SOL. The last data I had was that Alameda was holding 13 or 13.5% of all SOL in circulation. Now, they might have dumped some since then, and there are people who are tracking this much better than I do. I mean, I'm not someone who's digging into the blockchain transactions and everything and who's following that. I do read the crypto news. I do, check some data. I do certainly do my research, but I'm predominantly looking at charts and doing technical analysis. And, you can do fundamental research here, you can do technical research, and most likely both are telling you that Solana has a hard time and Solana is going to drop more unless we see a signal. Now, is this a signal here today? Well, I can tell you it is certainly something to watch, but it is far too weak to confirm any sort of upside from here. Maybe this is starting some short-term upside, but what is never a good sign is if we see those candles here out of the blue, which then retrace again like more than 50% or so. I mean, you see this candle, it was pretty much rejected straight away. This already doesn't look like an impulsive move, but I also need to tell you that those very, very short-term candles that appear out of nowhere, they are rarely trustworthy, and we need to see a little bit more data around it to make a call here. Maybe in tomorrow's video I can make a little bit more of a call here. But again, I told you that at the very least I want to see Solana get back above the $15 level. Or, well, let's say, okay, maybe let's say, okay, not necessarily the $15 level. There are levels before that where we could become more carefully optimistic, but I just can't see it at the moment. And that is if we see in any retracement that we're doing now, the move above the $13.50 level, above the 78.6% retracement of the current move to the downside. So if we wanted to now analyze really the subwave structure here, there are a couple of possibilities. If we look at the wave 3 in itself, I mean, we could say that this has the characteristic of an impulse, but I get into a problem there because the wave 1 here was not impulsive. So I think what we have here is we have a situation here where in this orange wave count, 5 waves, this is an ending diagonal. So I have again the situation where I basically in the best way count all these subwaves as ABCs. And you can see that very clearly with this wave 1, ABC. We've got an A, B, C in wave 2. And here now it's a bit tricky. I mean, I could say this was an A wave, we had a very small and tiny B wave, maybe even as a triangle, and we then moved down in C. And based on that, the wave 3 might even be already finished. Then we have the wave 4 happening here, yeah, and then we would see a wave 5 to the downside. certainly, if we assume that we have seen the wave 3 already, ABC, the retracement for a wave 4 would most likely be in the region between the 38.2 and the 50%, well, no, between the 23.6 and the 50% retracement. So you can see we've reached that area. The white target here for this wave 4 was just purely based on the idea that we get a little bit lower here in this wave 3, which is also still possible, but then we might, so I mean, I've got either the view that this is now already finished, and that is because of this signal here, So I mean, we came pretty close. We didn't quite reach that $7, whatever, 10 level. No, we came pretty close. So the wave 3 could actually be finished. I don't really believe that yet. But we just need to observe it, take it level by level. I currently don't think, again, that this downtrend is over. Again, I would to confirm that, or at least, not to confirm it, but to have a little bit of hope that the trend is changing. I want to see at least a move above 1344. So I'm looking of other ways of constructing this, and a more bearish view would be that we are still in the third wave. I'm going to take this support area out now. And that this was an A wave. This is now a B wave, probably not finished yet, so this will also subdivide into ABC, and we are then going to go lower in a C wave. But this would be a very bearish option. That would indicate wave 3 isn't even finished. Then there will be a 4 and a 5. I don't know where that's going to lead us. It will take us down quite a bit. So at the moment, I think we can, we are either tracking much further downside in a C wave, or we are tracking that wave 3 is over and this is now wave 4 and we're waiting imminently for a move down as well. So the trend hasn't changed for me yet. I think imminently what is important here, if we assume this might be a wave 4, looking at first of all the 50% retracement, this will be resistance here, as it always is for a wave 4. That's the 1150 level. So if anybody wants to continue to short this, if we get against the 1150 level, that might be a possible setup here for a short with a stop loss above the 1150 level. Just a trade idea. Again, it's a very difficult market at the moment. Not suggesting you to trade anything at the moment. This is up to you. And then above the 78.6 we could get a bit more bullish, but it is a difficult environment and we still have the uncertainty around Alameda, FTX, so it's really concerning. At the moment, I don't see any trend change, with the exception here of some very short-term upside, which is absolutely not reliable. And I'm looking at further downside here. I will probably be able to update a little more tomorrow, but for me, the trend hasn't shifted. I know everybody's always watching when we see such a candle, but it is not reliable. And I think we have the possibility that wave 3 was finished here, and this is just a wave 4, and we'll probably get more information about that tomorrow. There's at least something to watch out for, but even then I would expect further continuation to the downside. Doesn't really matter if this is the wave 4 and we go down in wave 5, or if this is an A wave, we're now doing a B wave and then come down further in the wave 3, that would be even more bearish. But the point here is further downside strongly anticipated. Short-term upside is always possible, and I told you some resistance areas for that, and if they break, we have to switch to another possibly more bearish more bullish, or just a less bearish scenario. I'll definitely focus on this because a lot of people are looking at this and a lot of people are getting concerned about Solana. Let's see if we can actually draw a nice parallel channel here or something. Yes, that might be something that we're going to follow going forward as well. So with that latest drop here today, we actually have 1 to 3, could even argue 3 to 4 touch points depending on how we draw this. And that's an interesting one. So I'm going to keep that onto the chart as well. So it could really be that with this channel now, wave 3 was done and wave 4 is in the making here. But I will, if I get more clarity here, then we will be able to adjust here the targets for the wave 4 and then give a clearer outlook probably in the morning tomorrow. Okay, and that's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.